Look at me, I'm dying. This is my last prayer. Imagine hearing that. Those desperate, bitter thoughts from a starving stray dog just trying to survive on the frigid Moscow streets.
Yeah, kicked, beaten, seeing all the harshness, the indifference of people around him.
But what if that dog, its very heart, its essence, went through this completely unimaginable change and became human?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Welcome to the deep dive. Now, this isn't just going to be a standard summary. Think of it more as a carefully curated book extract. We've designed it to pull out the novel's very soul, its main themes, and the most valuable insights it offers.
Yeah, it's like a shortcut to getting really well informed on the book. Much more effective, we think, than just scribbling down your own notes while reading.
Exactly. We're here to guide you through this kind of intellectual adventure, digging up the most fascinating parts from the source material you shared with us.
And today, we are plunging into Mikhail Bulgakov's brilliant satire, A Dog's Heart. It's such a compelling story. It kicks off with this really audacious scientific experiment.
Audacious is right.
But it very quickly turns into this profound social commentary. It really challenges our whole understanding of what humanity is, and it dissects those turbulent, sometimes bizarre changes happening in post-revolutionary Russia.
It's definitely a wild ride.
It really is. And it asks some, well, let's say uncomfortable questions about progress and where we draw the line.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. The story starts with Shrek, the stray dog, and he's at rock bottom. Really picture the biting Moscow cold,
Amazing.
the constant gnawing hunger, this pervasive fear. His world is either indifferent or actively hostile, just utterly miserable. And yet, even in that desperation, Shrek is this incredibly sharp observer of people. He instinctively knows the difference between, say, gentlemen and proletarians.
He really does. He notes their cruelties, but also those little fleeting moments of kindness.
Yeah, and he has this bitter line about feeling like he was kicked into his grave with their booted feet. It's so visceral, it just grabs you immediately.
It does. And what's really intriguing, I think, is Shrek's intellect, even as a dog. It's unexpected. He has this keen way of, reading the city.
How so? Not through words, obviously.
No, not through letters, but through this complex mix of smells, colors, human actions. He can tell different shops apart, different types of people, just by their scent or how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
For instance, he spots Professor Preobrazhensky right away as a gentleman, and he specifically notes his eyes are like a barometer.
Like a barometer? Way.
Yeah. It shows this surprising depth of perception, his ability to see past the surface, even in his animal state. It's almost like Bulgakov is hinting that, real understanding isn't just about human language or formal learning.
That's a great point, but it's perception. And it's that sharpness, that sense that leads to the big turning point, right? The encounter with the professor.
Exactly. The professor, this ambitious scientist, he lures Shrek off the streets. And how? With the irresistible smell of a good piece of sausage.
Simple, but effective. Shrek even says the smell of the sausage rejuvenated me.
And just like that, this simple lure takes him from that brutal life freezing outside to the professor's apartment, which is, well, lavish. Warmth, abundant food.
The contrast must have been unbelievable.
Totally. From street scraps to things like fur galoshes and a fancy tulip-shaped opal electric lamp. It's such a sudden, dramatic shift, and it really sets the stage for everything that comes next.
Okay, so Shrek is now in this lap of luxury, relatively speaking.
Right, and that's when we really get into the professor's controversial research. His big goal, his really audacious aim, is human rejuvenation through organ transplantation.
Pushing the boundaries, to say the least.
Absolutely. Pushing the boundaries of ethics, of what was even considered scientifically possible then. The book describes the operating room almost like a temple. Very sterile, emphasizing the gravity, the sort of sacred nature of this scientific quest.
Even though the premise itself is incredibly controversial.
Precisely. It makes you ask, how far is too far for science?
And Bulgakov really makes us confront that with the, frankly, chilling details of the surgery itself. The human donor for this experiment.
Yeah, Klim Chigunkin, a 25-year-old repeat offender and alcoholic. Not exactly prime donor material in the usual sense.
And the specific organs transplanted into Shrek are the pituitary gland and the testicles. The professor's determination during the surgery is just palpable. There's that quote where he says, "The most critical moment is when the graft enters. I beg you, give me the extension immediately and then stitch it up. If bleeding starts, we lose time and then we lose the dog, though otherwise there's not much chance either."
Wow. It just underscores the incredibly high stakes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The dog's life, The whole experiment hanging by a thread.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the operation happens. What's the immediate aftermath?
Well, the changes are incredibly rapid, dramatic. Within just days, Sherrick sparks start turning into these fragmented human words.
Really? Like what?
He starts with sounds like abur, then it becomes aburvaz, and then, astonishingly, gul avrupa, which means something like, bye, Europe. Yeah, and physically, too. His limbs grow, his fur starts receding, and out of this dog form emerges, well, an entirely new man. Poligrafovich Sherikov.
Poligrafovich Sherikov. Quite a name.
It is. And it immediately brings up this huge question. If you basically stitch together a human from animal parts and, well, dubious human parts, what does it actually mean to become human? Is it just the physical form?
Or is there something much deeper Bulgakov's getting at?
Exactly. Is it anatomy or something else entirely?
Because it's definitely not just a physical change, is it? This is where things get really, really weird and honestly pretty disturbing.
It's putting mildly.
Sherikov's full transformation happens, and what emerges is, well, grotesque, uncouth. His appearance is repulsive, apparently, but it's his personality that's truly shocking.
Right. He instantly picks up the worst habits, smoking, chewing food horribly, and his language.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the book says he seems to vomit back in mass his profane curses. It's like the base nature of the donor, Klim, is coming through loud and clear.
And his disrespect for everyone, especially the professor who created him, it's just appalling. It really feels like Bulgakov is showing us that just having a human body doesn't automatically grant you humanity.
Not even close.
Not even close. And this is where Bulgakov's social satire really bites hard. Shorokov, remember his origins, street dog, criminal's organs? He adapts incredibly quickly to the new Soviet bureaucracy. He doesn't just adapt, he thrives.
How does he thrive?
He gets a job. He becomes the head of the sub-department for cleaning animals from stray cats.
Get out! The irony.
Isn't it incredible? A creature made from a dog and a criminal, now in charge of getting rid of stray animals, the very thing he used to be. Such a sharp critique of this new social order.
Suggesting it elevates people based on...
Not on merit or intellect, that's for sure. More on their ability to fit in, maybe even embody the system's less desirable traits. It's a really chilling commentary on that revolutionary society.
And the conflict at home, in the professor's apartment, just explodes, right, between the professor, his assistant Bormental, and this creation.
Oh, absolutely. It escalates dramatically. The professor is constantly fighting with Sherikov about basic hygiene, his behavior, throwing cigarette butts everywhere, eating like an animal.
Then there's the incident with the owl.
Yes, Sherikov destroys the professor's prized stuffed owl. Just pure vandalism. And then, feeling emboldened by the local housing committee led by this zealous guy, Shavandar Sherikov starts demanding more space, demanding rights in the apartment.
How does the professor react to that?
He's exasperated. When they demand he give up his dining room and examination room, he fires back, "I will eat my meal in the dining room and perform operations in the operating room." Pure defiance.
And then comes that famous line.
Destruction is not in the toilet, but in the heads. Meaning the problem isn't broken plumbing, it's the ideology, the mindset causing the chaos.
Right. But Sherikov's actions get worse, don't they? More dangerous.
Much worse. He brings a woman back to the apartment, starts stealing from the professor, and then the ultimate escalation, he threatens the professor with a revolver.
Wow. So the experiment hasn't just gone wrong, it's become actively dangerous.
Exactly. The ethical lines are completely blurred, probably crossed, and the professor's own safety is now at risk. His creation is literally threatening his life.
So what can they even do at that point?
Well, faced with this escalating chaos and real danger, the professor and Bormental make a pretty desperate decision. They have to reverse the operation.
Undo the whole thing.
It's seen as the absolute last resort. It's not just about controlling Sherikov anymore. It's about regaining control of their own lives, their home, and correcting what they now see as a profound, maybe even catastrophic mistake.
A recognition that their ambition went too far.
Absolutely. It's like the consequences of playing God have come crashing down on them. The hubris has backfired spectacularly.
So another operation. Is it as dramatic as the first?
Just as dramatic, just as chilling. The professor, with that same surgical precision, works meticulously to return Sherikov to his original canine form.
It's like trying to unmake a man.
Pretty much. A desperate attempt to put the genie back in the bottle, or, the dog back into the dog. You can feel the tension, knowing what's at stake for everyone involved.
And does it work? What happens to Sherikov?
It does work. As the reversal takes hold, Sherikov undergoes this gradual but undeniable devolution. His human characteristics just fade away,
Bit by bit.
slowly but surely. They're replaced by his old dog-like behaviors. He loses the ability to speak, the fur grows back, and eventually he transforms completely back into a dog. The medical notes in the book actually detail this pretty specifically, tracking the unmaking of the man.
It's quite a journey. Dog to man and then man back to dog.
It really is, and that whole cycle serves as Bulgakov's stark commentary, doesn't it?
So after all that chaos, all that grotesque humanity, we end up back where we started, in a way, with Sherik the dog.
Almost. He's a dog again, living happily, it seems, in the professor's apartment. He seems totally content, completely oblivious to that brief, incredibly turbulent time he spent as a human.
Just back chasing his tail and enjoying scraps.
Pretty much. Living a much simpler life. Maybe, the book suggests, a more dignified one.
And what's the final takeaway? The professor's conclusion.
Ah, yes. The novel's core message really comes through in the professor's final thoughts. He realizes changing the pituitary causes humanization, not rejuvenation. The truly terrifying thing is not a dog's heart, but a human heart.
Wow, that hits hard.
It really does. It powerfully underlines Bulgakov's warning about the dangers of trying to force societal change, this flawed idea of creating a new type of person without understanding the complexities, the often unpredictable nature of humanity, of evolution, of morality itself.
It's a warning against hubris, then, scientific or political.
Exactly. It suggests some things just can't and maybe shouldn't be engineered.
So thinking about this now, what does a dog's heart mean for us? What should we take away?
Well, it really pushes us to think about what truly makes us human. Is it just intelligence? Is it dignity? Maybe humility plays a bigger part than we think.
And it makes us consider the consequences of tampering with nature, right? Whether that's biological nature or social structures.
Definitely. The book leaves us with that final, really provocative thought from the professor. What's the meaning of producing a Spinoza by artificial means?
Right. Why try to artificially create genius or enlightenment when it's such a complex, organic process? It's a great question to ponder. It invites us to think about that balance between progress and responsibility.
A very delicate balance.
Indeed. So this deep dive has really been about exploring what we see as the essential book extract of Bulgakov's novel, aiming to give you insights that go way beyond just typical reading notes.
And for those of you who want to explore even further, remember the mind maps we've provided and the visuals they offer even more connections, digging deeper into the themes and subplots.
If you've enjoyed this intellectual adventure with us, and if you found value in our work today, we'd love for you to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and show your support with a like. It really helps us shape our future projects.